Auntie Carol in the hand.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you
so good to have you because we're reminiscing about the old school. And you're one of our old school actresses that we love and we adore. You know, tell us a bit about your own old school experience and what you miss about that good old days.
I'm going to surprise
I can hear you. Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to surprise you a bit by saying that I wouldn't say I miss much. Because I have that belief that at any point in time, you know, like the Bible says, time and chance happens. So at any point in time, there's something to be enjoyed.
Yes, true.
You know?
True.
So, and if we're saying the good old days, I think the younger ones have it better now. You know?
Wow, okay.
Yes, with technology and everything.
Right, true,
if they use it the right way.
Yeah.
You know? Like I was discussing with Uche earlier on, and they, like you were saying, they have a stage play coming up soon.
Yes.
And I was telling her years back when we used to, you know, walk the planks at Terra Culture. And now Terra Culture is so big.
Nice studio.
But then you could actually be on stage and reach and touch the audience.
Wow.
Do you get, you
Yes,
know?
back in the
Now
day.
it isn't like that. And the whole place is all AC'd and everything.
Yes.
And then, you know, there are pros and cons for
Cons,
every
true.
period of
Absolutely.
time that we find ourselves
Absolutely.
in.
Thank you so much for reminding us. But let's come now to your book, because I know that's one of the things that is really exciting and new about you. What inspired you to finally tell your story in the moving star? You know, at this point in your life, why now?
Well, I would say just before I turned 60, I just kept having you know, in my quiet moments, I would just have this flashes of thoughts, you know, from my childhood, from different phases in my life's journey, you know. And I kept thinking to myself, and then when I try to remember them again, I kind of lose some parts. I'll be like, okay, I remember about this, what was that? And I would call my mom or call somebody and everything. So the thought came to me, you know what, you better start documenting this thing. There's a reason why these thoughts are coming to you. And then what made it even stronger in my heart was with how the different narratives nowadays, people identifying as they, as them, as all kinds of things. I thought to myself, you know what, you don't want somebody else telling your story when you're dead and gone. So tell it how it is now, and then your generations after will know the truth.
Exactly.
And not somebody else thinking, this is what I think must have been going on in her life at that period. So I kind of started doing voice notes, writing some stuff, and then I actually wanted to launch the book on my 60th, but it didn't happen like that. The publisher deals, blah, 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 things didn't go according to plan, but I launched it on my 61st.
Well, let's even pause for a second. Auntie, you don't look a day over 60. Like she looks so young. Auntie, look at her nails. Auntie, have you seen the average 60-year-old? You look so beautiful and healthy. How are you keeping up with all the beauty and, you know, your courage, everything? You're just glowing. You think you're like 40.
Morayo.
It's true now. Look, Auntie blushing already. Auntie, you're over 60. So, like, how are you keeping up? Like, what did you do to sustain your youthfulness?
Thank you very much for making my head swell. First and foremost, I would say God. Because I have good genes on my father's side and my mother's side.
Oh,
you know,
fantastic.
my mom is going to be 90 next year, and she looks like she's just 60 to 70. You get, so, you know. So I have good genes, and then I try my best to eat good food. And then we're talking about nightly eating.
You can tell you eat good food. See how your skin is just glowing.
I wish I wouldn't be eating all those night foods,
but
you know. And then I try
nice.
to exercise as well. So.
Oh, fantastic. Let's come back to your book. So many have described your book as deeply vulnerable, no holds barred.
Yeah.
You know, was it difficult for you to open up that way? And because you're very private for many years. Tell us a bit about some of the snippets in that book.
For me, I didn't know it would be so therapeutic for me when I started writing it. There were times that, you know, it's a different thing when you're doing different voice notes. And then when you start putting everything together and there's a flow to everything, and then so many other things start opening up, you start remembering things that were, buried inside of you. There were times I'll find myself, I'm just there sitting down and crying for minutes, and then I get myself back. It was therapeutic, and it also gave me a better insight into why I went through some of the things that I had been through, So it was apart from being therapeutic, it also gave me a good understanding of who I am,
Were there any regrets?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you share one or two with us?
Yes.
So that we can go and read the book.
I would say one of the regrets is if I knew what I knew then that I know now, I probably wouldn't have been in my first marriage. I would have listened to my parents because they kind of know.
Yes.
They might not be able to break it down to you and tell you why they are saying this thing or why they feel you should do it this way, but they know. And in looking back with benefit of hindsight, I now realized, if you hadn't gone down this road, probably it would be this way or that way. And then at the same time, I tell myself, whatever path you took, that was what was destined. And that's why you're here today.
One of the reasons why we like having this conversation, because many people bury it.
Yes.
And when people like you come forward to speak, we learn from it so we don't take those kind of mistakes.
Yes.
I know it was really difficult for you last year when you had, there was an interview where you said it was difficult reconciliating with your son. That journey of pain and hurt.
Yes.
And I know we'll read many of it in the book. I wish I had read the book for this interview. But I just want you to highlight one or two things that you passed through and you learned and that helped you to get strength for today, to have the confidence to rewrite that book.
I'll give you one very vital example. Bringing up my children, all through my children, they're all grown up now and everything. I would never allow any of them to go spend the night outside my home. And they didn't like it, But now they understand.
Appreciate, yes.
My daughter and I actually had, a conversation to that effect. And he's like, Mommy, I now understand, and stuff like that. I would never, I don't care whether it's family member, and it was because of what I had gone through. You understand? Because there was an instance where my father's friend, who was close to the family and would come to the house often, would drink beer with my father. I mean, I looked at him as a father. But, you're going back to school soon. Come to the office, for something. And then this man is chasing me around his office desk.
Wow.
You understand? Yeah. So all those things buried in my mind. And then I tell you, when I was very, very young, I was probably like 10, 11, 12, around that range. There was a neighbor. They lived, because I'm a barrack child. My father was a policeman. So we lived on the topmost floor, and then they were the second floor. Then there was the first floor rather, and then there was the ground floor. Now, we used to go to their house to watch, their house, really, to watch television. And one of those days, we were close. I was closer to the older sister, and that's because we shared books. I've always had a love for books, And then she called me inside. We were watching TV with her younger sister and her siblings, and she called me inside, come and see something. By then, I'd started sprouting my boobs, And then I went in, and then she tried touching me.
Serious?
I didn't feel comfortable. I was like, what is she trying to do? Luckily for me, her younger sister came in then, and then, I quickly ran back to the sitting room. And then I stopped going to their house because of that. And then my mom asked me once or twice. I didn't give her any, sane answer or anything like that. What am I trying to bring out here? It was years later. When I started reading more books, I now, there's something called lesbianism. Oh, girls touch girls. Oh, wow, and stuff like that.
You would have been exposed to it at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like if I was that way inclined, it would have I would have just settled in.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I put that in my book. I want parents to know that, look, when your children shy away from a particular person,
Be suspicious.
be suspicious. Because children are their antenna level is very high. They're almost like, I don't mean it in a bad way. They're almost like dogs. They sense things, you know? So when, like that house, I used to love going there.
And suddenly you
because of television. And then all of a sudden, I don't want to be going there again, you know, and stuff like that. So please, parents, let's watch out for this signs.
Thank you very much for sharing. So they've called you intimate stranger in the industry. Why has privacy been so important to you? And has it cost you the fact that you just remain private? You don't want anybody to just want to stay by yourself. Has it cost you anything?
Yeah, kind of in the industry.
Yeah.
But you see, you can't change who you are. I have always been like that from when I was a little girl. I love my books. I'd be in the room reading my book.
Wow.
I get lost in the world of the books. I was telling my children, I said, before I ever went to UK, when I went to UK, it felt familiar because I'd read about it in so many books, yes. It felt familiar. Even when I went to Paris, it felt familiar
because
I'd read about it in books, you know.
Wow.
So
you like your space.
I like my space, and it's not put on. It's just that's me.
Right.
When I'm in a crowd of people, I go into myself.
Yeah.
But if it's a one-on-one, some people will swear, "Oh, that woman can talk." That's because you caught me in a one-on-one. But when it's becoming 2, 3, 4,
you withdraw.
I just, yes.
Sorry.
The way it costs me is in the industry.
Yes.
Because I'm not out there. Oh, this event, that one, this one, that one. But I can't be otherwise.
Yeah,
I wish I could.
We love you the way you are, Auntie Carol. Thank you so much for being real to who you are. Many of us knew you, Edge of Paradise, earned you international recognition. That was a fantastic outing you had in that season. What did that moment mean for you and shaped your journey in the Nollywood industry? And what is your review so far as we've all moved into this new Nollywood world?
It was a good thing to be recognized internationally because for me it was a validation of my craft.
Exactly.
You know, knowing that, oh, yeah, it's good till now, when I go out and people are smiling at me, I'm still like, why is she smiling at me? Then I now, okay.
Oh, yeah,
Edge
of Paradise.
or something. Do you get? That's just how I am, you get. So when that came out, and, you know, the international recognition and stuff like that, and it was sad for me as well in a way because there was no hue and cry about it in the press. Because as at that time, no actor had been, you know,
recognized.
Yes, on such a platform, you know. Now we at least have people, you know, the Grammys, the Oscars, and we're thankful for that.
Yes.
But we need to know how to also sell our market. They were more intent on selling the other ones because our show then, Edge of Paradise, was amongst 24. Who remembers 24?
We all do.
You know, Prison Break,
Yeah.
Desperate Housewives. Those were the people,
category.
Yes, that category. But they were more intent on pushing foreign stuff, which we still do in the industry now, which is sad, you know. So for me, it was a mix of I was excited, oh, nice. Then I'm like, okay, it's like nobody noticed. Oh, why? And then why are they doing this? Well, it was good. And then it's also helped in that I do not have to audition often for roles.
The work is already there.
Yes, some people just like, okay, we know she can do this. Yeah, bring her in, you know.
Oh, my final question to you. What would you like your legacy?
Thank you.
That is around.
Thank you.
What would you like your legacy to be, number one? And secondly, if somebody picks up Moving Star today, what is the one thing you hope they can actually take away from your story?
Let me start from the second.
Okay.
If someone reads my book today, I want them, because it's a book about the mistakes I've made in being a wife, in being a mother, in being just me, Carol, in my career. So I would expect that they would learn from it, you know. And also another huge part of it is my spirituality. You know, I would want them to take the fact that, look, God is the ultimate. Whatever, whatever your plans, whatever your thoughts, God is. It says in Jeremiah 29:11. Sorry, I'm not turning into a religious show. That his thoughts towards us are of peace, not of evil, to give us a future and hope. So as long as you depend on him, put your trust in him, he will chart your destiny. And that's what he did for me. Because everything was against what I wanted to do. But here I am today.
Still standing.
What I'm doing.
We love it. Thank you so much, Auntie, for coming. Thank you for sharing your truth with us.
Yes.
Your story is a reminder that strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in resilience, which is what you stand for. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
So
we appreciate you.
Thank you.